The magic. It's happening. We're live. It's live. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. This is my 5th out of 6 live streams this week that were featuring authors from the Kindle Flash Sale. More than 50 entrepreneurial authors got together and lowered their Kindle book price to 99 cents, or in some cases $1.99. But it ends tomorrow, Thursday, December 4th. You can go to kindleflashsale.com to see the full list of 50 plus books. Grab them while you can. By the way, you can gift them. You can grab links from Kindle books and share them. You can listen to Kindle books. Do not be afraid of Kindle books. Great way to get great knowledge, share great knowledge with friends and family, clients, colleagues. Without any further delay, I'm going to allow each of the authors to introduce themselves, their book, and specifically the ideal reader for their book. Laura, would you kick us off? And welcome.
Thank you. Yes, I'm Laura Biewer, and my book is called Beyond Loan Signings, the ultimate guide to monetizing your notary commission through specialty work. And my ideal reader would be someone interested in being an entrepreneur using the notary profession to do so, or a notary who's already in the profession and they don't know where to start. What kinds of options are there, or they are a loan signing agent, which is a notary, and they didn't realize that there's more to life than loan signings.
You know, I got to know you in the notary community over the last few years because of the work we've done together with your events. And it opened my eyes that there really is a difference between a notary who's a notary and a notary who's an entrepreneur. Yes. And so much more that can be added to that. And I think it's a really great way. And I think there's some entrepreneurs who are probably realizing that they could add the stable of services they offer or someone on their team offers as a way to help themselves out and others. So that's pretty cool. Laurie, let me bring you into the conversation. Share your book title and who the ideal reader is for it.
Thanks, Robbie. I'm excited to be here. My book is very different than Laura's. Unconditional Remembrance, Your Connection to Source. And my ideal reader, this is a personal transformation book. It's also a leadership book. So it's for anyone that is struggling with self-doubt, struggling with forgetting who they really are, and wanting to access at a whole deeper level who they really are.
You know what I love about this Kindle Flash Sale is the breadth of topics that are included. Today, the email that I sent out was also featuring, we have a book for football fans who want their loved ones to understand the game. And we have someone who used golf as a metaphor. So the through line is that it's something that you're doing as part of a larger business. So we'll get more into that later. But I love that you have such a clearly defined audience, because the people who hear those words are like, oh, she's speaking to me. And I think that's that clarity that we all need. And Seth, let me hand over to you. Let's hear a little bit about your book.
Yeah. Hi, Robbie. Thank you for inviting us. Hello, everybody, fellow authors. My name's Seth Serxner. My book is called The Wellbeing Effect, Bite-Sized Practices for Busy People to Live Happier, Healthier Lives. My ideal reader is the person who feels overwhelmed by all the wellness messages, all the well-being, all the marketing, all the corporate push to do better, to change your lifestyle, to get healthier, and they're just exhausted. And they're trying to sort through what is really meaningful. So I try to write a book that's it boils all the science down in a very practical, non-threatening, safe, realistic approach to living a better life, a happier life.
I was really glad you went that way, because in my mind, I thought, are we just throwing away all those principles and getting like a stack of Big Mac coupons in this book? Like, forget trying. It's all overwhelming. I like that you're instead making it accessible and bite-sized. You said bite-sized. I think that's when I started thinking.
I did say bite-sized, Robbie. Yeah. So you immediately went to McDonald's. I get it.
I know. Susan Fitzell, will you please join us?
Yes. Okay, my book, and I have it in my hands. I'm going to show it to you. My book is Neurodiversity in the Workplace, Maximizing Success Through Inclusive Dynamic Workplace Design. And someone might look at this book on, in a little thumbnail and think that it is primarily for people who are neurodiverse or neurodivergent. Honestly, I made this book for everybody. So this book talks about the breadth of different brain wirings for all of us in the workplace, in life. It's practical. It's a strategic roadmap for tapping into our divergent talent in our workplaces, in our organizations, in our associations. It's for everybody, and it's very, very how-to. Gives you steps and step by step how to do certain things that you might want to do in your environment. What was the other thing I'm supposed to say?
That was it. That was it. You nailed it. And I've been thinking a lot about this work because
All right, awesome. I was
even
hoping.
as I'm working to support authors who are part of this Kindle Flash Sale, Susan, you've been really helpful. And the last few times we've been having an ongoing conversation about how I can streamline the information, because it can be very overwhelming to new people. And I want to be so supportive. I want to give, but I have to find new and creative ways to do that. And I've gotten some new ideas I want to talk about next week during our victory party that includes some AI stuff. But it's a challenge, because what works for one person doesn't work for all. But when you create accommodations, that usually benefits everyone. Like me creating easier to skim emails. No one's like, I like the old ones with lots of text. No one's like complaining.
Yeah,
So-
it's overwhelming to someone who's neurodivergent like me, and so it's a lot more of the population than we realize. I mean, I can't tell you how many people that I know are neurodivergent that don't know they're neurodivergent. Everybody else around them knows they're neurodivergent, but they don't know.
Yes. There's so many late in life discoveries these days. So I want to now shift the topic a little bit to the Kindle Flash Sale itself, which is this author collaboration. And there's a lot to it. It's not just that you lowered your books to 99 cents or $1.99 and then called it a day. So, Laura, you and I have known each other in various capacities over the last few years, back to 2020, in fact. So tell me what you thought of this when you first were hearing about it. I know you heard about it from Bill Soroka, your co-author for this book, but like, how did this fit into the larger marketing plan you had for that book?
Honestly, I wasn't even sure. I'm just writing the book itself was the idea there was just, how can I help people find their way? And then when the book was done, we had to figure out, well, how do you get it out there? Bill did a lot of that. I really wasn't as involved in the creation of the physical book and that getting it out there in the world. And now that I'm having to do it for myself, I realized, oh my gosh, it's another whole job to do something after you've written the book. How do I get this into people's hands? And this idea of the Flash Kindle sale just struck me as, wow, authors collaborating together to help get messages out to the world, that there are these books available to help you in whatever genre, whatever it is you're trying to help people in. And what a great way to collaborate together. And I'm a collaborator. I love to do that. And I did that a lot with speakers in the events that I held, and bringing people together that helped a group, a community. And to see a community of authors working together, I just thought, I'm home.
I love that. Seth, I'm going to come to you next. You and I didn't have a prior connection. So you're kind of into this, trying to figure out who I am. What's this all about? How did you hear about this, and how did you decide that this was the right next step for the book you were marketing?
Thanks, Robbie. I heard about this through a colleague, someone who's in this event, Jessica Grossmeyer, who has a book called Reimagining Workplace Wellbeing. Jessica and I have known each other for many years. We kind of collaborated and shared notes on each of us, trying to figure out how to publish our books and how to get it out there. And so when she said, do this, I said, how high do I jump? Kind of thing. I also, like everybody else, just trying to figure out how to promote the book. So this seemed like an interesting way to do it. If there's 50 authors and we all promote each other and we all share our networks and give each other ideas, seemed okay to me.
Yeah. And what's your experience been so far in the lead up and these first few days?
I think one of the main things that happened for me was it did provide the impetus to go back and ask everybody to do reviews. I think all the authors here know how important that is. You've mentioned to us that 50 is kind of the special mark for algorithms in at least Amazon. So I've been asking all kinds of people, and I've got from 22 to 42, and I'm really pushing to get to 50. So that was good. And just also in that time frame, people started to tell me, oh yeah, I got it, but I haven't read it yet, or all the typical stories. So it was a great way to reconnect and use that excuse.
Right before we came on, I opened up all your books on Amazon and I dug a little bit because there's the global ratings, which is the number of 1 through 5-star ratings that people did. And so for your book, you have 42. You have 40 written reviews, and that's an incredible percentage. I just want to mention that because not only did you jump from 20 something to 40, but clearly you really focused on people writing a review in that jump, right? Because people don't have to buy your book or write anything to leave a 5-star or 4-star review. And that's not the goal. The goal was to actually get people to engage, to open your book, to read your book, and to engage with you. And I love that you took me up on that challenge because I was like, hey, everyone, lower your price 2 weeks before the campaign and use that time to go to your network. And that's a great case study. You came in, you followed the steps. Now you will hit 50. I mean, you may not hit this minute, but it's going to happen. And ongoing reviews throughout the years is part of the algorithm. So I love that. Laurie, I want to bring you in because you've also, everyone here actually has done a really good job with reviews. It's an I will say it's an impressive group. Laurie has 60 ratings and 60 reviews.
Nice.
That's 100%. It's over 50. You got everyone to write reviews. So clearly you know a little something about marketing yourself, and you have other experiences to pull from. But how did this fit in with your idea of getting the book into the right hands?
It's a great question because given that this is kind of a business focus, I had to kind of adapt that in myself because but I know that I'm working with creativity, with how to access your creativity, how to access your own inner guidance system for life, but also in your work, also in everything you're creating. So that allowed me to feel comfortable in stepping into, oh, this is a business book, Kindle Flash Sale. And I had followed your steps around reviews to begin with when I first published my book. And that made such a difference. And so I didn't get that many more reviews right now, but how it fit in, how doing this sale fit in is that I really wanted to, I'm doing a lot around, okay, what's the next step? What's the next piece? How can I, bring the attention back again? Because, it's not the launch date anymore.
Right.
And doing something like this is a great way to do that. And it's been a little overwhelming, taking more time than I thought. I will admit to all of that. But one of the benefits that I didn't expect, didn't even think about, was meeting other authors. And having authors say, oh, I loved your book and here's my review, or hey, you should be on this podcast, or I want to introduce you to this book club. So these are all things that I didn't expect that this has given.
The camaraderie amongst the authors is something I definitely had a hope for because I'm community driven and I'm a community builder, but it is far surpassed what I would have expected authors to do for each other. And the people who really engage, who, whatever it is, like, it's not just that they share the campaign link this week, but that they were involved in the last 2 weeks. I track people hitting reply to ask me questions even, and they always apologize. And I go, no, it tells me you're paying attention. Like, it's okay. You ask the question. I need to keep getting this better and, streamlining it for you. That's my job in all of this. But then there was the same kinds of people that are trying to reach out to, they're like, oh, where's that list of people and their LinkedIn, and like they're asking for that because they want to go and connect, and
Yeah.
these other great future collaborations or introductions can come from that. That's like that's like this cherry on top. That's actually kind of the point in a way. I love
it
that.
really is.
Yeah, Susan, you've done this with me before. You and I also worked together on the launch of your book, and I have to brag on you for a second. Hold on, I have your numbers here. So 54 reviews out of 57 global ratings. Congratulations, well done. So what was your experience like this before? What why do you keep coming back, and like how does this help you attract the right people?
Well, my experience has been with working with you right along is this book wouldn't be anywhere near what it is as far as the reviews, for sure. I don't think any of my books, even though some of them I actually make money on my books, they sell every month. But the reviews have never been a big focus. It was always, oh, make sure your book has Amazon's bestseller on it. And so you changed my whole way of looking at not only the reviews and how to promote the book, but also the value of making sure I have consistent reviews over a period of time. I mean, it never occurred to me that if you get reviews all in January of 2025, if you don't ever get another one again, that you end up kind of being pushed down the algorithm for having your book found when people are looking for it. So I feel like that has really made a difference. And especially since all my other books are education and parenting books. They're for teachers or they're for parents. And so this was my first book for corporate associations and organizations. And so I had no funnel. I had no mailing list. I had nothing. And so this is really amazing what I've been able to achieve with this book. And it's selling. I mean, I look up my royalties on Amazon and it's actually selling and making money, which is amazing.
I love this. I love that it gives you a chance to refocus after the launch. Kind of what was saying Laurie. So we're past launch date. Now what do we do? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
By the way, I offer this Kindle Flash Sale 3 times a year: April, July, and Cyber Monday, which is usually late November. This year, December 1st. And so some authors do it every time. Some do it once or twice a year. But it's a chance to kind of refocus the energy, reach out to their network, and all of that. Speaking of metrics, I wanted to also I didn't shout out what Laura and Bill Soroka have done. 142 global ratings and 95 written reviews. By the way, Laura, that's your goal, is to not, well, I'm going to say 6. Get 6 reviews in the next 6 weeks. Okay. By mid-January, get 6 more. So then you can say you have over 100 written reviews.
That's amazing.
So it is really amazing. And I know that she's like, it's such a good message. I love that the right people who hear it. Niche books have such a special place for me because they don't see themselves in other generic business books, or books for entrepreneurship, or books for starting a business or a home business. They don't feel like they're being spoken to. Whereas writing a niche book like that, and Laurie, I think you have similar, like really a focused book, it calls certain people to it. But when you're getting started, and I'm going to pass this over to Seth, actually. When you're getting started, you have a certain understanding of what you think is going to be important when you're thinking about the success of your book, and you have certain metrics, and then you move along in the world of authorship, and you meet other authors, and you start realizing things like, oh, reviews. So what was your initial understanding of what was important, and how has that evolved over time?
My expectation was really to, get the book out there, and if it helped even one person, I was going to be pretty happy. I didn't expect it to be some, New York Times bestseller. I really also wanted it to be a platform for me to do more speaking engagements. My goal was 10. I have changed that. I've done, I think, 3 or 4 this year. That's fine. But it'd be nice to do more speaking engagements and leverage that. So those were my 2 things: sales and speaking engagements. I think maybe next year I'll get somewhere in between the 5 and 10, and then On the book sales, who knows? It's really hard to say, because some of the book speaking engagements I do, they buy 100 books when I go to do that. So it's a little different when I go that way. But it's ramping up. It's like everybody said, the launch is just the launch. Now it's how to keep it going.
Well, the good news is that the best way to sell your book and actually make a little money on it is bulk orders. And bulk orders are more likely to happen in relationship to a speaking opportunity, sometimes with some coaching or consulting, or book club is another option. So happy to have a conversation with you about this for next time, because it's really about targeting that effort you just did around those reviews to the people who are most likely to be interested in your work, either for themselves or as a referral partner, because that kind of gets, it re-engages them. It could lead to new revenue or new media opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've also, I have a podcast as well.
Nice.
And so the podcast has been a great platform, and I've been trying to get invited to other people's podcasts to get the word out.
So Laurie, you were on book what number? You've been a part of it. You part of a collaboration, and then
I've been part of two #1 international bestseller collaboration books. This is my first solo book.
Yeah, what was that like? Like, how did being part of the collaborations help you be more certain about your writing and your decision to be a solo author? Was there a relationship?
No, not at all. And they were years apart. And so, no, there really wasn't. I've always been a writer, and I've always done a lot of writing and publishing. But this book sort of wrote itself, meaning, well, I started it actually really at the very beginning of this 9-year cycle. And then I set it aside for a long time. It's just sat in my computer. And then it was sort of like, well, with that inner guidance, this is time. It's time. And I went back to it, and then, oh, I'm going to get an editor. Oh, I'm going to get this person. And each piece sort of fell into place without me having I'm doing this for my business. I'm doing this because I have this message that needs to come forward. And it's an invitation to people to reconnect with that essential part of themselves. And so that's what I was moving with, because that's so much of what my work is about.
It's helpful if you have that inner drive that voice that you feel confident in, as opposed to the voices that a lot of people have, which is the who are you to write a book? Right. It's nice you had that, and you also sat with it for a while and let it mature in you. Laura, you currently, we were talking about a book you did with a co-author who himself has many books. So very, very smart, by the way, to hook up with a co-author who's done that and done it well. But I know you are set to release your first solo project as an author. How did you feel about doing that? Is that, again, you still have your co-author in your corner cheering you on. I know he told me as much. He said she's going to be in your thing next year with her new book. So he's all about it. But yeah, what was that? Is there a shift for you being the author?
Yes, it was very different. I leaned very heavily on my co-author the first time around, because my writing was really limited to blogging, writing short, brief articles in my industry, and to take a subject, not only niche notary, but within notary, and just take hospital work in particular, and explore that, and pull all the things that I've learned together into one book was at first very overwhelming thought for me. I think in small chunks, and I didn't realize once I pulled them all together that it did make one big, beautiful book. So I'm very excited about the process, because I'm like, it's on me. When I reach out to Bill and say, well, what should I be? And he goes, it's your book. What do you want to do? Like,
it back on you.
No. So being the decision maker is a very different feeling, because before it was always, well, let me check. Let's see. We talk about it. We come to consensus. about it, but there's nobody to come to consensus with except me when you do
Yeah.
it by yourself.
That's exciting, though. That's really
It is.
exciting. Susan, as we close out, I had a question for you. You mentioned that your books have been selling,
Yeah.
and that's actually not a given. So,
I know. Really?
what are you doing? What's this magical potion? Like you're happy to open up your royalty statements, and I know that this was a new market for you. This wasn't like your other books were tied to a network that you had developed and nurtured for a very, very long time, and you're known in.
30 years.
Yeah.
And my other books, I had a 30-year history, and I had a big mailing list. I still do, and those books I have done really well with those books. They sell every single month. And one of my strategies is to make them textbooks. And I don't mean textbooks like the kind you got in school and in college. I mean, they can be used for all kinds of purposes, including a course. And I feel like I know that universities are buying my books. So I don't know if universities are buying these. What's fascinating to me is I'm actually looking at my royalty statements now from the launch in January, or the paperback launched in April. It was in April. And it's interesting that this book also is selling all over the world. And I have to say, it's got to be. I've done all of your Kindle Lives, or I've done 4 of them. And yes, they are overwhelming at times, but it's so worth it because I'm getting the attention on this book. I write articles. We made sure it's all on my website in the bottom matter, get the book, so I'm actively doing things. But really, I feel that it's the reviews and the Kindle Flash sales that have given me the momentum to keep promoting, and that has kept my book in front of people, even though I have a very small mailing list for this and a very small audience per se compared to my other one.
Yeah, but you're developing it quickly. I wanted to say a couple of other positive comments for all of you because you have so many reviews. So reviews have 2 sort of sides, the human side, the AI side. We look at reviews before making a purchase. Like studies have shown more than 90% of buyers check reviews and they're flipping through it. And I've done this when standing in a store. I'm like looking at a vacuum, right? And I go to Amazon to read the reviews and I look at the price and I decide whether to walk out with the vacuum or to order it. But I'm looking at reviews online and people are doing that all the time. And if they're thinking of hiring you to speak, so for Seth, who's trying to, get on more stages, everybody's got a book these days. It's really hard as a speaker. You reach a certain level and it's a given. People have a book. So how do you stand out when your topic has got a lot of books? Well, you have more reviews and it shows that decision maker that, this is a person who actually knows something and this is valuable information. It has a social proof. And then the AI side is that to get on the top of the search results page requires quantity reviews, the quality, meaning like closer to 5-star reviews, recency of reviews, and percentage of verified purchase reviews. Those are the 4 things that get factored into where your book shows up. Now, I want to tell you a quick story. I just added this into a slide deck I'm doing for a presentation for the Canadian Association of Professional Speakers this weekend in Halifax, Canada. And I was looking at when I was launching my book, which is called Launch Your Book. It's my 4th book. And when I was launching this book, Launch Your Book, An Entrepreneur's Guide to Reviews that Drive Revenue, there's a book by a really well-known person in the publishing world called Book Launch. Book Launch, okay? My book is Launch Your Book. And I looked and he had like over 2,000, 2,300 global ratings and 911 written reviews. And that seems, how could I beat that guy? Well, the book came out in 2015 and his last review was in 2023. I looked yesterday when making this deck. I am the 3rd book on the list after 2 sponsored books. He's number 37.
Wow.
That is the ongoing reviews and the getting the just recent reviews. Like quantity wise, I have 240 6 written reviews and 248 ratings on that book, 49 ratings, something like that. But I'm just shy of 250 written reviews. Hint, hint for those listening. I'd like to break that number. I'm aiming for 1,000 because I want to get permanently in front of him. But you don't have to wait. It's about getting a block of reviews on the way out, like Laura did and Laurie did, right? You all came out of the gate with that, and then ongoing reviews. So Seth, what you're doing right now is going to have you jumping up that search results page really quickly. There are authors who will put their own title in and their book doesn't show up for pages and pages because other people have better metrics on those keywords, which is a real shame. So this is the first panel I've ever done where I can honestly say you're all doing really well with your reviews, and you're not stopping, like that you're continuing to boost that and paying attention to it. That's why I'm highlighting it so much, because usually there's one person who's like sheepishly sitting there like, don't look at me. And all of you are like, I did do that. Proud people. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for giving me a chance to gloat about you. Thank you for being on the show.
We listened to you, Robbie. We listened.
Yeah, and Susan, do you have something?
Yes, I want to share something I had never thought about before, and I think it might be beneficial for everybody. I read every single one of my reviews, and I have found that I get a perspective about my book and how it can be useful from the reviews. Like it is, we may write a book with one audience in mind or one purpose in mind. And then we have somebody write a review that says, oh, this isn't just about neurodiversity. This is blah, 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 blah. And leaders should really have it. And I'm looking at this going, wow, what a way to reframe and rethink my own book and topic on where it can go and how it can be useful. And I'm willing to bet if all of us read our books, our reviews, we might find the same thing, like some nuggets in there about what people said about our books. It's invaluable.
Yeah, nuggets, patterns too, like better ways to describe the book than you've been describing it. Yeah, sections that stand out. Whenever I'm like, what kind of social media content should I create? I have to really look at my reviews for what stood out to people, certain sections, certain lines, certain stories. That's a great idea. It's also a wonderful serotonin boost, particularly when you're working on your next project. Awesome. Well, thank you again so much for joining us on this live stream. Everyone go to kindleflashsale.com to check out these and dozens of other books, including all 4 of mine. Thrilled to have you join us and get all those great books. We'll see y'all later. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.